Welcome. This is Professor Dr. Ingrid Vasiliu Feltez, and it is a privilege to deliver this keynote today. I would like to thank the organizing committee and to all my distinguished colleagues who will deliver their valuable insights today. Please allow me to share a brief keynote overview. Today, I will highlight the global landscape that emphasizes the role of AI in the past, present, and future. Then I will emphasize some of the latest technology trends, challenges we're facing, opportunities that lie ahead of us, and future directions for research and development. We must acknowledge the important work that was accomplished by scholars from 1950 until now that allowed us to attain the scientific and technological developments that we're witnessing today. I invite you to read more about each one of these innovators and leaders in the scientific community to better understand how AI has evolved over time. I would also like to underscore that today's keynote will focus on artificial narrow intelligence and artificial general intelligence. We will not address artificial superintelligence in our remarks today. When we examine the global impact, we must address several domains: investments, business ecosystem, employment, education, and the impact on our society. A close look at the global market indicates that the artificial intelligence market is projected to reach $244.22 billion this year, and it is expected to show an annual growth rate of 26.6%, resulting in a market value of $1.01 trillion by 2031. In a global comparison, the largest market size will be the United States, per current estimates. I would like to call your attention to a recent Morgan Stanley report that emphasizes AI's 5 trends that are shaping innovation and return on investment. Additionally, there are a few key takeaways I think are worth mentioning. In 2025, technology companies are focused on building AI platforms that meet their enterprise customers' needs for optimized performance, profitability, and security. Partnering across the AI ecosystem of chips companies, hyperscalers, large language models, data and software companies, and trying to deal with trade policy unknowns and resource constraints. The top trends in these new AI frontiers and the focus on enterprises include AI reasoning, custom silicon, cloud migration, systems to measure AI efficacy, and building an agentic AI future. I would also like to point out a JP Morgan report, and specifically one portion of their report that highlights the valuation discrepancy between the tech giants, the number of tech companies that are driving majority of the SP 500, and their opinion is that this might not be sustainable in the long term. Additionally, the Motley Fool has highlighted that actually the top 7 companies are driving majority of the fluctuations in the stock market. This is once again a testament how AI and deep tech is influencing not only the business ecosystem, but our economy at a global scale and our society. When we look at the AI value chain, it's important to understand the full ecosystem from hardware, which includes semiconductor design and manufacturing, hyperscalers, which include cloud services, data centers, and large language models, developers, which of course are needed to sell these AI solutions to end users, and integrators, which are increasingly important. They are large companies developing their own AI solutions. The World Economic Forum has also emphasized that by 2027, it is expected that machines will accomplish 43% of tasks and humans 57% of the tasks. There are other reports who show these percentages as being 80-20. This is one of the more balanced ones that I wanted to highlight in terms of the future of our jobs. The 2025 report highlights several important insights. Here are a few that I think are also worth mentioning. One of the elements that we need to consider is AI talent around the world. And the OECD report shows how skills migration, skills penetration, talent concentration, and top skills are distributed around the world and by countries. Here you can see the AI skills penetration by industry, and it's really essential to observe how many countries are actually investing in their AI skills heavily, and others have fallen behind. This graph also highlights how technology trends are driving business transformation and what the expectation is between 2025 and 2030, and how employers are identifying the technology to drive their business transformation. As you can see, AI and information processing technologies are at the top of their predictions. Right. McKinsey has also recently published a report that emphasizes super agency in the workplace, how people can be empowered in these novel hybrid intelligent workflows to unlock AI's full potential. Here are a few important elements in this report. It shows that 92% of companies plan to invest more in generative AI over the next 3 years. And only 1% believe that their investments have reached maturity. So we're at the beginning of this journey. So if you are interested in engaging, this is the time. Leaders need to recognize their responsibility in driving generative AI transformation. So as you can see, it is more likely for C-suites to cite employee readiness as a barrier to adoption versus their own issues with leadership. And that's an important distinction. 48% of employees rank training as the most important factor for Gen AI adoption. However, nearly half felt they were receiving moderate or even less support. It also highlighted that employees are more ready for the change than their leaders imagine. 3 times more employees are using Gen AI for a third or more of their work than their leaders know or suspect that it is actually the case. More than 70% of all employees believe that within 2 years, generative AI will change 30% of more of their work. Millennials are the generation that is more likely to report extensive familiarity with generative AI tools than other peers, of course. And as we highlighted, this is the first time in history that multiple generations, actually 5 generations, will be able to converge to work in the same employment environment. In a recent UNESCO report, we noticed the importance of artificial intelligence being highlighted in reshaping global education. The Director General of UNESCO, Audrey Azoulay, has decided to dedicate the International Education Day to opportunities and challenges to artificial intelligence. She called on UNESCO's member states to invest in training both teachers and students on the responsible use of technology within education. Additionally, another report highlighted how AI can show progress towards the United Nations Sustainable Goal 4. A recent UBS publication emphasized how artificial intelligence in education is the sum of AI benefits and human intelligence. That is the equation that will give us the return on investment we're expecting. Generative AI is one of the hottest topics in education that can help us improve efficiency, cut costs, and boost student engagement and teachers' job satisfaction. UBS also introduced a framework that allows us to size and seize the AI investment opportunity. UBS Global Wealth Management's Chief Investment Office report took a closer look at how the launch of generative AI has started a major investment trend. Over the next decades, they predict that companies that provide and adopt AI are expected to be at the core of economic growth and wealth creation. According to this report, we must follow closely how evolving competitive dynamics and shifts in investor sentiment will impact each of these domains and layers. One of those layers is the enabling layer. Companies that provide a backbone for AI development, ranging from semiconductor production to chip design, cloud and data centers, and companies involved in power supply. By 2027, value creation is expected to amount to 185 billion. We have also seen recently how tech companies have purchased and reactivated nuclear power plants to meet this enormous demand for energy. We also have noticed how the race to have control over rare minerals is shaping geopolitical landscapes, once again driven by the need for novel energy and renewable energy sources to sustain this deep tech economic ecosystem. Then the intelligence layer. Companies turning the computing and energy resources from the enabling layer into intelligence, business and strategic intelligence. For instance, those that are developing the large language models and own those large data sets. Then the application layer, companies that embed tools from the intelligence layer into specific use cases. All of those will grow by 2027. OECD also published an important taxonomy of AI intensity. I urge you to take a look at this because it highlights the completely fragmented current ecosystem. And this report is a beginning to try to address that fragmentation. If you see here, they highlight the regulatory and ethical barriers as well. And it's important to notice how various industries are affected more. For instance, professional and scientific industry and finance and insurance are heavily affected by regulatory and ethical barriers. Here, you have the equal concerns by Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs research forecasts that global power demand from data centers will increase by 50% by the year 2027 and by as much as 165% by the end of the decade. Deloitte has also recently published a global human capital trends and highlight the importance to reskill and upskill from the boardroom, C-suite, to all the way our management and employee level in order to sustain this novel hybrid augmented intelligence work environment. AI is revolutionizing work and how humans will have to be either on top of the loop, in the loop, before the loop, or at the end of an AI and other deep tech loops. In a World Economic Forum report, it is important to highlight how AI has transformed companies' abilities to apply intelligence and creating opportunities for innovative business models. Recent research by PricewaterhouseCoopers and the World Economic Forum suggests that these benefits do not come at the expense of jobs, that it will cause new job creation. So although we will lose some jobs that were traditionally available, new jobs will be created. The responsibility for developing these much needed AI skills should be shared by organizations, policymakers, educators, and employees. A PricewaterhouseCoopers annual global CEO survey also showed how reinvention is essential. As we mentioned, hybrid human and AI workflows are important for the next decade. Here are a few key frameworks and workflows. Hybrid augmented intelligence represents the integration of human intelligence with the intelligence derived from artificial intelligence technologies to enhance decision-making, problem-solving, and task performance. Unlike traditional AI systems that operate autonomously, hybrid augmented intelligence recognizes the complementary strengths of humans and machines, leveraging the unique capabilities of each to achieve superior outcomes. In hybrid augmented intelligence frameworks, humans provide context, intuition, and domain expertise, while AI algorithms contribute to data analysis, pattern recognition, and automation capabilities. In a hybrid augmented intelligence workflow, we can have a process or system that combines human expertise, intuition, and oversight with a complex portfolio of AI technologies to augment and improve efficiency, accuracy, and effectiveness. Here are some of the workflows that have the humans in the loop, where humans are actively involved in the decision-making process, and the AI system provides support or recommendations to aid human decision-making. We can have human-guided machine learning, human-AI collaboration, or human-AI arbitration. Here are some workflows where the human is completely removed out of the loop. These are examples where AI systems operate autonomously without any human involvement. Automated decision-making is present when an AI system makes decisions based on predefined rules or algorithms, and fully automated processes where AI systems handle tasks end-to-end without any human intervention. Agentic AI and multi-agentic AI will fit these models. Here are also interaction types that employees will have to learn in this new environment of a hybrid augmented intelligent workflow. Supervised learning with human annotation, active learning with human feedback, human in the middle, where these workflows involve a human acting as an intermediary between an AI system and the end users. Human-assisted machine learning. This is a type of machine learning where humans provide guidance to the machine learning system. Automated decision-making and human-machine teams. Now that we gave a global impact, not only on how AI influences our economy, employment, education, and society, as well as investment trends, let us focus a little bit on the latest technology trends. If generative AI was the dominant news over the last 2-3 years, this year and the next decade will witness the rise of agentic and multi-agentic AI, the scalability of physical AI and robotics within the industrial omniverse. Digital twin technologies have already increased their presence across multiple industries, and every day we are witnessing novel use cases in life sciences, pharmacology, transportation, defense, and airspace. Additionally, there are researchers in innovation labs around the world who are dedicating themselves to applying the opportunities and capabilities that symbolic AI, spatial AI, cognitive AI, adaptive AI, edge AI, and neuromorphic AI bring to various industries. We are seeing a converging of all of these tools and methods within the AI portfolio to give rise to multi-purpose AI platforms and AI as a service platforms. What can the future bring? Well, the future is likely to have AI as an enabler. AI is envisioned to be an enabler and catalyst for other global digital ecosystems. Some of those examples are smart cities development. When we examine the top 10 cities that are consistently ranking high in the global smart city index, you can notice that all of them have invested heavily, not only in AI, but other deep tech and frontier tech. Additionally, AI will contribute and accelerate the development and maturity of the global metaverse. At this time, we only have small pilots of metaverse ecosystems. However, it is predicted that AI will augment those efforts and can ultimately lead to a global metaverse platform. As I already alluded to, as defined by NVIDIA, AI has already generated a rise in the industrial omniverse. What started only a few years ago, also in silos and pilot projects, is now a robust industry that's also expected to generate trillions of dollars in economic value. Perhaps less known and not as high volume, but with tremendous impact on society, is the role of AI in human and brain-computer interfaces. For those of you familiar with the fact that we transitioned silently from a Web 2 environment to the next iteration of the World Wide Web, Web 3, you will also probably recognize that AI will accelerate the transition from Web 3 to Web 4. As you know, United Nations declared 2025 the year of quantum computing, and AI converging with quantum is also expected by several industry leaders to trigger a new industrial revolution. The same way we had all other industrial revolutions, many believe that multi-agentic AI, physical AI, combined in a Web 4 architecture and powered by quantum can lead to a completely new, recalibrated, reshaped, reconfigured global business ecosystem and affect our society at all levels. For future trends, a recent Deloitte report highlights the crucial role as a core driver and enabler of multiple other emerging technologies. So I invite you to take a look, as it will highlight what we are expecting to see over the next decade. Also, another report in the MIT Technology Review highlights also the role of AI in accelerating other deep tech developments for 2025. Equally, a Pricewaterhouse report highlights how AI has completely reshaped business predictions, not only for 2025, but also beyond. And Ernst & Young has also published a report where they can clearly show how senior leaders are seeing positive returns on investments across multiple business priorities: operational efficiency, employee productivity, technology upgrades, cybersecurity, customer satisfaction, product innovation. And their report starts with a reflection. Will we shape the future of AI, or will AI shape us? Additionally, we have mentioned that the United Nations declared the year of quantum, and according to Motley Fool, quantum computing stocks will be the new enabler of. Thank you for the opportunity to share a few of the global landscape, a few of the tech trends, and now I would like to transition to some of the challenges that we're facing. Of course, we highlighted the benefits of these technology deployments, particularly AI, but it is important to recognize the legal, regulatory, governance, cybersecurity, ethical challenges that we're facing, which are tremendous. So it is important to recognize them and mitigate them. Another layer that has surfaced recently in the global geopolitical landscape is the role of AI and other deep tech in national security. It is a major challenge that we must overcome, and it will play a role, particularly now that we're developing multi-agentic AI and quantum-proof multi-agentic AI. Nations that gain these type of tools will have a very strong key role in the global diplomatic negotiations. Another major challenge we face as a society is the lack of AI literacy or lack of deep tech literacy. Digitally native generations that are comfortable with adapting to novel deep tech will have an advantage in the employment and education ecosystem. So it is our duty to accelerate our efforts to increase AI literacy and deep tech literacy for all other generations. Additionally, in our introduction, when we shared the global landscape impact of AI, we highlighted how it will transform employment. Now that we emphasize the challenges brought about by AI and other deep tech, it is also important to recognize the opportunities that lie ahead of us if AI is deployed responsibly. If deployed responsibly, AI can reduce the digital divide we're witnessing around the world. It can give rise of novel economies. It can also assist and accelerate the alignment with the United Nations 2030 and 2050 agendas. If deployed responsibly, AI can also help with human rights initiatives, can give rise to voices that otherwise would have never been heard. AI is also a powerful lever for global diplomacy and global collaboration. I would like to highlight two examples. Just 2 days ago, the Secretary General's message to the inaugural Global Conference on AI Security and Ethics, organized by the United Nations Institute for Disarmament Research, highlights how important it is to capitalize on the opportunities, but to have global collaboration to ensure nation security. Additionally, the AI Governance Alliance has been formed to try to address some of the challenges we mentioned and leverage the opportunities that I just highlighted. Thank you for the opportunities to share a few thoughts on how AI has shaped our present and how AI will recalibrate our future. Thank you.